Right then, sit yourself down, because this one's packed. There's noise coming out of the blue side of Glasgow again, and Ally McCoist's latest meltdown might just top the lot. You won't believe what he asked live on air. Honestly, the tears are flowing harder than the Clyde. Then I've got the lowdown on some Champions League rule changes that could shake up Celtic's path in Europe, and maybe even throw a wee spanner into Rangers' summer plans. After that, we're talking transfers, with a £10 million winger that could be the next Kuhn, only better. A proper get-you-off-your-seat kind of player. Imagine him tearing it up at Paradise. And stick around till the very end, because we're diving into the big one. Tony Watt throwing his weight behind a move for Hearts' Lawrence Shankland. To Celtic, not Rangers. Seriously. So don't even think about skipping out early. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. You're gonna want every bit of this. Right then, sit tight, because this one's a belter. You're not gonna believe what came out of Ally McCoist's mouth this time. Honestly, if I had £1 for every time he tried to make Celtic's brilliance about Rangers' failings, I'd be able to buy Ibrox and turn it into a car park for Paradise. So here's the latest. McCoist, clearly feeling the heat from yet another season watching Celtic steamroll their way towards a treble, has come out on TalkSport asking, wait for it, if Celtic are only doing well because Rangers are poor. That's the logic now. Forget the beautiful football, the dominance at Hampden, or Brendan Rodgers managing to pull together a team that looks like they've been playing together since the days of Larson. No, Ally thinks it's all down to Rangers being rubbish. You could hear the pain in his voice as he tried to twist it into some sort of philosophical question. Is it benefiting Celtic, Rangers being poor? He asked. Alan Brazil, bless him, tried to keep things level, but even he was like, mate, Celtic are winning. That's all they can do. Exactly. And that's the thing, right? Celtic are doing their job. Going out every week, blowing teams off the park, putting silverware in the cabinet. You don't win trebles by accident. You don't get into Champions League knockouts because Rangers had a bad day. You do it because you're a serious football club run by winners. So here's the question for you. And be honest now. Do you think Ally McCoist actually believes what he's saying? Or is he just trying to comfort himself because watching Celtic win again and again is too much to handle? Drop it in the comments. I've got my popcorn ready. Right, pull up a chair, because this one's got some real meat on the bone. The Champions League's just barely rolled out its shiny new format, and already UEFA are thinking of chucking it back in the workshop for a few tweaks. Classic, eh? Now I know you've just got used to the whole 36-team Mega League thing. And fair play, Celtic had a cracking run, landing a knockout tie with Bayern Munich after marching into the top 24. And I know the other mob didn't quite make it. Shocker. But listen to this. 3. Major changes are apparently on the table for next season, and they could impact both Celtic and, if they manage to stop tripping over their own laces, Rangers. First up, extra time, gone. UEFA are thinking about skipping it entirely in the knockouts and going straight to penalties. No 30 minutes of agony, no dramatic late goals, just straight to the spot kicks. Imagine the nerves. One slip, one dodgy whistle, and you're packing your bags. Personally, could add a bit of chaos, but also takes away that extra bit of drama we love on a European night. Second, home advantage. Right now, if you finish top 8 in the league phase, you get your last 16-second leg at home. Sounds fair, right? Well, UEFA's thinking of letting those same top teams also get the second leg at home in the quarterfinals and semis too. So basically, finish high and you get all the perks. Bit of a kick in the shin for the underdogs, though. Makes the climb even steeper for clubs like Celtic trying to punch above their financial weight. Third, and this will make your ears perk up, they're talking about bringing back country protection. At the moment, teams from the same league can draw each other in the early knockouts, like Bayern versus Leverkusen or PSG versus Brest. But UEFA reckon these ties aren't attracting enough eyes, so they're thinking of protecting domestic matchups till the quarters again. Which means, if by some miracle Rangers join us in the Champions League proper, we won't be meeting them in the early rounds. Now, here's what I want to know, and I'm asking you straight up. Do you think these changes are about making the game better, Or are UEFA just trying to protect the big boys and keep their TV money flowing? Drop your thoughts below. I know you've got something to say. Right, listen up. I've got one for you that might just get your blood pumping like a last-minute winner against the Blues at Ibrox, as Brendan's boys march toward yet another treble. Aye, 6th in 9 years, in case you've lost count. The transfer talks heating up like a Glasgow summer. Which, to be fair, still means rain, but you get me. And this one? It's about a fella called Million Manhoef. Yes, that's actually his name, and no, I'm not making it up. Word is, we've got our eyes locked on the Stoke City winger. Young, electric, and supposedly the sort of player that gets folk off their seats. Which is handy, because you and I both know Celtic Park's already bouncing half the time anyway. Imagine adding a lad who turns it up another notch. Now, here's the juicy bit. Stoke paid around £3 million for him just a few months ago, and now they're throwing around a £10 million price tag. Aye, someone at the Bet365 stadium's dreaming harder than the Rangers fan who thinks they're still in the title race. But let's not kid ourselves. There's something about this boy. Left-footed, quick, and not afraid to take a man on. Sound familiar? That's because he's basically being touted as the next Kuhn. And while Kuhn started off like a house on fire, Champions League heroics and all, he's fizzled a wee bit since the turn of the year. Blame it on the broken nose, or maybe just a dip in energy from playing more games than he ever has. Still, if Manhoef is as dynamic as folk are saying, and if Rodgers thinks he's the one to either challenge or compliment Kuhn, then bringing him in could be a real statement. Plus, let's not forget the championship's no cakewalk, and he's managed to hold his own. Bit of flair, bit of pace, bit of bite. You can already picture him cutting in off the right and rattling one-top bins at Hampton, can't you? So here's one to chew on, pal. If you're in Brendan's shoes this summer, are you taking a punt on Million Manhoef for 10 million quid? Or are you sticking with Kuhn and hoping he rediscovers that early season fire? Let me know what you think below. Right then, grab your pint and listen to this one, because it's got the kind of drama you only get when Hearts, Celtic, and Rangers are all mentioned in the same breath. Now, you know me, I'd rather scrape my knee on the concrete outside Celtic Park than give the Ibrox mob a compliment. But even I had to laugh when the open goal lads started flinging Lawrence Shankland into the conversation as Rangers' next savior. Honestly, they'll take anything with 2 working legs and a pair of boots at this point. But here's where it gets interesting. Tony Watt. Aye, that Tony Watt, Barcelona slayer and forever a legend in paradise, threw out a cheeky wee alternative. What if Celtic took Shankland instead? Hold on, let that marinate a second. Shankland, in the hoops. The boy's got goals in him, we can't deny it. Bagged 31 last season and knows where the net is, even if Hearts have been as consistent as a Glasgow summer this term. But let's be honest, would you really want him as our third striker? A guy who struggled in a Hearts side that couldn't finish top 6? Watt reckons he'd be a decent option as a backup. See, Ferry even backed it up, saying with Johnny Kenny not getting a sniff, we probably need another number 9. Fair shout maybe, but here's my question for you, and it's a good one. Would you take Lawrence Shankland at Celtic if it meant keeping him away from Rangers, even if he never started a single match? Let me know what you think, and don't hold back, because I know you've got an opinion on this one.